welcome you back to Leahy Stadium for a matchup between the Creighton Prep Junior Jays and the Gretna Dragons. Creighton Prep ranked number 2 in the state, while Gretna has fallen to number 3 after an unfortunate loss to Omaha South, in which, Perkins had 2 goals, and that was the only 2 goals scored by Gretna in that game.
Some rematch of the state championship game last year. Creighton Prep won that game 2-1 behind goals from Jacob Hove and Owen Glogowski. Junior Jays looking to continue their success against the Dragons as they gear up for another run at a state championship.
Absolutely, and I believe that they do have an excellent chance, as Gretna, as I said before, lost unfortunately to Omaha South, in which Creighton Prep actually beat Omaha South in the Metro tournament final and won the Metro tournament. It was 4-3, and a very dominant performance there by the Junior Jays. Just 2 very late goals in the last 5 minutes from Omaha South that kind of closed that gap. And as I said before, Gretna lost to Omaha South 3-2 in that game.
And that game went into overtime. Gretna beat Omaha South earlier in the year. Gretna, you just have to move on from that, and you need to focus on playing your best soccer against a Junior Jays team that has been your toughest test so far this season.
Take a closer look into that game against Omaha South. The Junior Jay goals coming 2 from Jordan Guema and 4 unanswered after trailing 1-0.
I mean, the Junior Jays getting a pair of goals from Jordan Guenma. Seen a lot of contributions from this sophomore class with guys like Guenma, Tim Dowd, Louis Tokporo, and Connor Lotus, all providing some big impact for the Junior Jays. Only 9 of the 24 players on their active roster are seniors. Good future for this Junior Jays team, especially with a good freshman class coming in as well.
Absolutely. As we take a look, the last time these 2 teams matched up was, as Colton said before, in the Class A state championship of last year. There were 2 goals to start off the game by Creighton Prep, by Owen Glogowski and Jonathan Hove, and 1 goal late game from Perkins, who is returning this year, to shorten that lead up to 1. As we close comparison to these 2 teams, very even there on goals. Gretna just up by 2, but the Junior Jays got that back with the assists. However, Gretna ranked nationally a lot higher than the Junior Jays at 58, just compared to 121.
And depending on the result today, that could change quite a bit. The Junior Jays are looking to play a very complete game of soccer and get themselves their biggest win of the season so far.
Absolutely, we will break away until the beginning of the game. Don't go anywhere here at CPSN. back here to Leahy Stadium as we approach kickoff here for the number 2 team in the state up against the number 3 as Creighton Prep Junior Jays and the Gretna Dragons take the field.
We look at the matchup between these two teams ever since Gretna joined Class A back in 2019. This is the 6th meeting between the two. Prep has won 3 of the first 5 games that they've matched up in, and a 147-31 record for these two teams in the last 5 years, each winning a state title. Both of these teams have been powerhouses of Nebraska soccer ever since 2019, and they've continued that again this year as they're both in contention for the state title with top 5 rankings currently.
Absolutely. That combined record of 147-31 is just absolutely incredible when you think about the history, the history of these two teams being in Class A. Just 2 great programs, 2 great coaches. It's going to be a fun one here to watch today. And it appears Gretna is on the field first.
Looks like the Junior Jays are set to kick off first,
as they take the field as well. Gretna, it looks like they are running I believe that's a 2. Not sure, they're not. It's like a 3-5-2 is what they're running. Might be wrong. So they're still kind of taking their positions here. And here come the Junior Jays. So they line up as well. And it will be Gretna to kick off. And we are underway. And game starts off with McGuire Perkins with a big boot across the field, falls into the hands of Sibrinson. Sibrinson's now directing traffic.
McGuire Perkins is going to be perhaps the main player for the Dragons here today. He scored 16 goals within their first 10 games of the year. He's going to need to really get going in order for Gretna to pull off this victory.
And down in the corner is Michael Stukenholtz as he gets it over to Jace Erdkamp. And now it's in the box, and a shot taken early there by McGuire Perkins, deflected by Sibrinson and goes out of bounds.
That was a great play by Sibrinson, just slides to prevent the shot on net. Great play on his part and prevents a potential early goal for the Dragons.
Absolutely, as I believe a corner. Oh, great shot there. Believe that was number 14, Brody Haney, picked up quick there by Sibrinson. Deep ball there by Sibrinson over to Gwenma. Dowd took a look at it, but now it's Bieber. Looks like that was intended over for Tokporo, but it's knocked out of bounds by Cameron Bothwell. Now it's Flynn McClay to throw it in here for the Junior Jays. Looking around, and he gets it over to Tokporo there with Bothwell, and it's out of bounds again. Last touch by the Dragons.
One thing to keep in mind is that Gretna has the advantage of the wind in the first half. However, that does mean that the Junior Jays will have that advantage in the second half and likely for any potential overtime or shootout.
Now it's Flynn McClay on the ball. Over to Bieber. Bieber struggling with 2 Dragon defenders and fell into possession of Stukenholtz, and it looks like the whistle's blown. Now it'll be kicked off here by maybe Ian Jones. Fires it away, and now it's Tokporo with a touch on it. Tries to get it back over to Dowd. Dowd having to maneuver around the referee there. Now it's Bieber with it. Bieber getting pressed up there by Michael Sheaf. Over to Flynn McClay. Boots it down the right side. And it is bounced up and down over to McGuire Perkins. And a whistle is blown as Perkins is on the ground. And he's quick to get up. It'll be Gretna East for the free kick.
And a big part of a potential Gretna victory today would have to be getting someone other than Stukenholtz or Perkins going. Both of them have over 12 goals this year. Stukenholtz with 12 exactly, and Perkins with 16. Next leading goal scorer has 3. They're going to need to get someone else going because the Junior Jays likely going to settle in and focus on Stukenholtz and Perkins.
Iguema was dribbling there on the left side. Looks like he's fouled. Or possibly a foul there called on the Junior Jays, as it will be possession of Gretna. Looks like he's using his hands a little too much there. As it is Connor Hevikin to take the free kick, and it goes way over Michael Sheaf, but Stukenholtz is on it before he is bombarded by Jack Johnson and Brody Brackey. Now it's Iguema, gets it over to Dowd. Dowd battling with Brody Haney. And there was Connor Hevikin to knock it away. Now it's Chokporo. Just went right under the ball, fighting there with Evan Lafferty. Now it's Johnson and Perkins on that. And through ball intended there for Stukenholtz. Back over to Stukenholtz. He's in the box. Got it by Brackey. It takes a shot. It's missed it left. Good coverage there by Sibernson. Great shot there by Stukenholtz. He was guarded there by Brody Brackey, but just managed to get around him and take a good shot.
We've seen Gretna put a lot of pressure on this Junior Jays defense early on. In his game so far this year, Sibernson hasn't had a ton of shots go on goal, but already 3 big opportunities for the Dragons. Sibernson doing a good job shutting them down, though.
Yeah, there's a little miscommunication there for the Junior Jays as it falls into the possession of Gretna. I believe that's Connor Hevikin to kind of kick it over. I intended for Stukenholtz. Now it'll be Sibernson who's going to roll it over to Brody Brackey.
With this wind in their favor, Gretna needs to put a lot of pressure on the Junior Jays. Done a good job with that early on. Got a few shots on goal. Going to need to keep doing that for the remainder of this first half, though. Sean
Stratman tried to get it through over to Connor Lotus, but Jace Erdkamp was able to knock it away, as well as Elijah Fulton. Now it's Sibernson. Looks like he's going to get it over to Shilcutt. Jack Johnson there battling with Perkins. And now it's Perkins. Takes a touch. He's going to be a little too powerful and roll out of bounds. A lot of pressure being applied here on this Creighton Prep defense. As you said, and I believe we saw this, something very similar in the state championship last year. Gretna was doing a great job of applying pressure on the Junior Jays very early on to the game. As Dowd and Peter will share a pass. Bieber gets it over to Iguenma. Iguenma up the middle. Now it's Jack Johnson. Johnson over to Stratman. Stratman gets it up to Iguenma. And now it's Tokporo. And it'll be Wyatt Zeleny. To fall on top of it. As there's Perkins again, guarded by Bieber. Perkins working on Flynn McClay now. He's going to have to get it back over to Brody Haney for Perkins. Managing it over to Michael Sheaf there in the corner, guarded by Flynn McClay, and it'll be out of bounds. A throw in there for the Gretna Dragons. And it'll be Tim Dowd to clear it away. And now it's Iguenma on it. Iguenma passes it a little too much intended there for Lotus. Now it's Jace Erdkamp up the right side. Gets past Iguenma. Not past Stratman, though. And now it's Brody Haney. Haney looking around. Gets it back over to Elijah Fulton, who passed it back to, that was number 6, Connor Hevikin, who slips and falls. Now it's Tokpor on the right side. And good defense there by Cameron Bothwell before it falls back into possession of Tokporo. Tokporo over to Flynn McClay on the right side. Down the middle for Dowd. Dowd looks around. Looks to get it over to Gwenma, but is knocked away by the Gretna Dragons as a whistle's blown. Jack Johnson fell.
Now with this free kick not that far outside of the box, Junior Jays could be looking for a quick header. Jack Johnson has succeeded so well on those this season. Good situation to maybe go back to that and try and get the first goal of this game.
That's Brody Brackey to take the free kick just outside the box. Looks like as he will try to keep it on the ground, but it's deflected there by the wall that the Dragons created there, and it'll be a throw-in for the Junior Jays. Flynn McClay to take the throw-in. Looks around. Sure what was going on there. Flynn McClay will throw it in, intended there for Iguenma. It's knocked away. And Tokporo back on it. Tokporo dribbling around. Still possession in the right corner. And it's knocked away there by the Gretna East defense. It's Michael Sheaf. Or Gretna, excuse me, I'm sorry. And it'll be Stratman back on the ball. Over to Iguenma. Iguenma one touch over to Lotus. Lotus will put up a shot, and it's deflected by Zeleny.
Great shot by Lotus, but just a little bit too much on it. And now Gretna taking back over.
Absolutely. Took that shot, maybe a little bit too much power on it, but great save by Zeleny on that. Great awareness. And it'll be Fulton there on the ball. And Iguenma now with it. Iguenma over to Johnson. Johnson tries to get a through ball, just a little too much power on it. It'll roll out of bounds.
We've seen this game kind of swing more back to the Junior Jays' strengths. They're putting some pressure on this Gretna defense, and at this point they've gotten a few more opportunities at the net. They're going to need to do that some more. There's not really a single standout player on this Junior Jays team. It's a more balanced attack, and they've used that to their advantage so far in the early going this year.
Absolutely. Just a couple rough passes there for the Junior Jays. Missed opportunities, but it looks like it'll be a free kick there for Gretna. Free kick taken by Perkins. And it'll be Stratman, I believe that is, on the ball. Stratman will throw it in over to Tokporo, but not before Bothwell kick it out. Looks like they're going to bring it back to where it was thrown in before. Be Drayton Bieber throw it in here. Bieber went to throw it in. Tipped up. And Flynn McClay tried to keep it in, but unfortunately could not. Throw in there. And they're calling for a free kick here for Gretna. This looks like Stukenholtz will just dump it back to, that was Brody Haney, and now it's Bothwell. Bothwell over to Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz. Now it's, Brody Haney on the ball there. Back to Bothwell. Now it's Sheaf. Sheaf over to Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz has room. Stukenholtz makes a man miss. Stukenholtz tries to get it to Michael Sheaf. No, it is offside call.
It's a pretty good opportunity for the Dragons, but gets called back because the offside's a little bit of a tough break for him.
Deep pass. Now it's Johnson on it. Johnson over to Stratman. Stratman chips it up over to Lotus. Lotus now on the left side. Looks like he's going to try to cross it over to Glenma, but it'll be deflected. Now it's Perkins on the ball. Dowd able to win the battle there. Now it's Dowd. Gets it over to Flynn McClay. McClay over to Tokporo. Tokporo with Bothwell. Tokporo makes Bothwell miss. Tokporo now into the middle. Tokporo with a cross, and it'll be tipped out. Looks like a corner kick there for the Junior Jays as it's tipped out of bounds. A free kick just way on the right there. It'll be Brody Brackey to take the free kick here. Brackey chips it up over to Iguenma, who gets a touch. Now it's Jack Johnson. Just misses it right. Not a lot of power on that one, but I think a lot of people were confused on where that ball was going to end up.
It was a good opportunity for the Junior Jays. Great header from Iguenma back to Johnson, and Johnson just couldn't get as much power on that one as he wanted. Good for the Junior Jays to put a lot of pressure on this net like they have early on in this game.
Now it's Stukenholtz. He's wide open. And another offside call. It's like Michael Sheaf talking to the referee there. And a yellow card. I believe it'll be on either Stukenholtz or Sheaf. It'll be on Stukenholtz there. So he will come off, and to replace Stukenholtz, I believe that is possibly number 20, Noah Jones.
It's a really costly mistake from Stukenholtz. He's one of this Gretna team's best players alongside McGuire Perkins. They can't afford to lose him, and now he's going to have to play a lot more carefully during the remainder of this game, already with a yellow card under his belt.
Absolutely. Perkins and Stukenholtz combined for 28 of the 35 goals by this Gretna team. It'll be Simonson. Brackey to start us off here again. Brackey up the middle, gets it over to Bieber. Bieber up the right side. Over back to Flynn McClay, who's Bieber with a high shot. Iguenma fighting for it there with Connor Hevikin. And it'll be Stratman to put up another shot, and it's covered by Zeleny.
The Junior Jays just keep having these great opportunities, but it's either the Gretna defense or Zeleny out in net that's really stepping up. But if the Junior Jays keep putting this pressure on the net, they've got to get at least one at some point.
Speaking of pressure on the net, here comes Iguenma. Lotus now with it. Lotus back over to Iguenma, but it is hit out of bounds there by Jace Erdkamp, I believe. It'll be a corner kick here for the Junior Jays coming up.
As we've seen, Junior Jays just keep putting this pressure on the Gretna team. It's what they do best, how they win their games.
I believe that might have been a throw-in. Hard to see. Jack Johnson looking to put up a shot. Misses it right again. Looks like he's not too happy about the result of that one there.
Now, that was a tough shot, but he ended up just hooking it a little bit. A lot of missed opportunities early on, but in almost every soccer game, you're going to see some of that. Junior Jays just have to keep sticking with their formula, just keep getting to the net. Get these to connect at some point during this game.
Now it's Sean Stratman to break up a deep pass there by Zeleny. It's Evan Lafferty to take this throw in as the gust of wind picks up. Now it's Elijah Fulton back over to Erdkamp as Creighton Prep begins to apply pressure here. Ball goes over Stukenholtz, over to Bieber. Now it's Johnson working on Perkins. McClay there. And it'll be out of bounds. Throw in. Stukenholtz on the ball, fighting with Jack Johnson. Bieber clears it over to Iguema. Iguema gets a header. Now it's Tokporo on the ball. Tokporo just barely loses the 50-50 there. I believe that was number 9, Michael Sheaf on that. Good defensive effort here for the Junior Jays to clear it out, creating what appears to be something out of nothing there. Just couldn't get it past that last guy.
Tokporo with a great effort there, but just put a little bit too much on it.
Deep ball, Jack Johnson. Now it's Lotus. And now it's Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz up the right side. That's Shilcutt on him. And now it's Brody Brackey back over to Lotus. It'll be Shilcutt. Looks like he tried to clear it, but it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be a Creighton Prep throw-in.
And for Gretna, they just need to get control of this game back. They need to keep getting possession of the ball and not allowing this Junior Jays team to just control it throughout the whole game.
Let's see Iguema up the left side there with Jace Erdkamp. Iguema gets past him. Iguema to cross. It's deflected there by Bothwell. And it'll be Brody Brackey to get it back into play here for the Junior Jays. Dowd on the ball. Dowd looks like he tried to get it over to Tokporo, but deflected. Now it's Noah Jones on the touch there. And there again. Here comes Brody Haney. And now it's Perkins on the ball with Bieber and Brackey. And a whistle is blown. It'll be on the Gretna Dragons. A free kick coming up here for the Junior Jays.
And, I mean, we saw as he rushed down the field earlier, but Jordan Nguyenma just so fast on that wing. He can beat the defenders to basically any spot. You've seen that with a lot of these sophomores on this team. Tim Dowd, Connor Lotus, Louis Tokporo. They've all got great speed and can beat out these defenders on a one-on-one.
Stukenholtz on the ball there. Cuts it across over to Haney. And it'll be Iguema on the ball again. Iguema dribbling around. Gets it over to Tokporo. Tokporo on the ball, and it's knocked. Elijah Fulton able to hit it out of bounds. So close yet again. It's another missed opportunity here for the Junior Jays. They're getting into the box so much.
But they get another corner kick. Another good opportunity for them. They just need to keep putting this ball on the net. Eventually, you have to think that one of them's going to go in and get them the lead early on in this game.
Absolutely. With as many shots as they're putting on goal, one of them's bound to go in as Sean Stratman takes a few steps back, takes the corner. It'll be Lotus on the touch, but just maybe a little bit too much power there on the corner kick as it rolls out of bounds.
This wind not only blowing towards the Junior Jays net at this point in the game, it's also blowing a little bit west, so it's impacting those corner kicks that come over from the right side of the field whenever the Junior Jays are on the offensive attack. Saw it really impact that corner kick. Maybe it went a little bit too far, and Lotus just couldn't get the header that he wanted out of it because of that.
Now it's Iguema back on the ball up the middle. Gets it over to Hogan Doria, who subbed into the game here for, I believe, Dowd, and it'll be an offsides call. Hevican on the free kick here. He's going to try to get it over to, Evan Lafferty. Up the left side, that's Perkins. Or no, now it's Perkins on it. Tries to get it in, but it's Jack Johnson who ends up coming up. Now it's Hogan Doria. Hogan Doria tries to get over to Zach McClay, but is recovered by Connor Hevican. Passed in for Perkins, falls into the possession of, I believe it was Bieber, but it'll be knocked out of bounds, last touched by Perkins. Now it's Brackey back on the ball. And he is knocked down. Be a whistle blown on Gretna, on Perkins. Or not Perkins, that was, I believe, Michael Sheaf on that. Now it's Brody Brackey. Kicking into the wind here, as Colton said. Big kick over to Hogan Doria for is cleared out by Connor Hevican again. The handball is called there on the Junior Jays. Now it's Hevican to take the free kick. Look at that ball carry over to Stukenholtz. And another whistle is blown, this time on the Junior Jays as well.
Looked like Shulcut did not like that call. He was kind of jumping up and down afterwards. Either way, Gretna getting the free kick. This wind is blowing 24 miles an hour northwest. Definitely impacting what Gretna might be trying to do here.
Stukenholtz takes a few steps back. He might go for the goal here.
Sibernson is, or he was all the way on the right side of the net. He's lined up more towards the left of it now.
Stukenholtz went to pass it, but it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Dragons. Here's Bieber on the ball now. Over to Jack Johnson for falling back into the possession of Gretna via Brady Cerone. Hogan Doria racing for the ball. Just a little too much there on the pass. Now it's Flynn McClay on the touch. Bieber racing there. That looks like it'll be a corner kick here taken by Michael Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz puts his hand up. He will take it, and Jack Johnson will knock it away. That was Bothwell on the attempted touch there. Erdkamp getting it in, and Bieber goes up with a header. It looks like contact in the air. It'll be foul on Gretna. It'll be an offsides call. Brody Brackey be taking the kick here. Over to Zach McClay, who gets a touch on it, and it'll be out of bounds. Last touch by the Dragons. Ball's thrown in over to Tim Dowd. Dowd gets it to Iguema on the corner. I believe that was Stratman to get it over to Jack Johnson. Now it's Tim Dowd. Gets a pass over to Hogan Doria, but it's went for the header, but is recovered, albeit a little hastily by Zellini.
Yeah, it looked like that one got a little bit more of Hogan Doria's face than his actual head. Ended up just not getting the bounce that he wanted from it, and we've seen that a few times on some headers from the Junior Jays. They've needed to get better with that this game.
Ziguema went up to get to touch, maybe just a little bit too much. Now it's Fulton on it. Back over to Erdkamp. Erdkamp again, over to Stukenholtz with a bad touch, and now it'll be Creighton prep possession. Now it's Brody Brackey. Brackey over to Bieber. Bieber now. Over to Flynn McClay. Back to Bieber and back to Brackey. Playing a little keep away here late in the first half. Now it's Tim Dowd. Tim Dowd beats Fulton there on the tackle. Now it's Dowd racing, gets it over to Iguenma. Iguenma looks like he trying to get a little 1-2 over for Dowd, but it's thrown in there by Shilcutt. Now it's Iguenma back on it. Iguenma this time loses the 1v1 against Fulton. Now it's Perkins. Perkins over to Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz beats Shilcutt, but doesn't beat Stratman, and Brackey gets it back over to Simmerson. Simmerson over to Tim Dowd, and Fulton will knock that one away. Johnson able to kick it away just before it falls in possession of Michael Sheaf. Now it's back to Flynn McClay. And he will lose it into the possession of Brody Haney, but not before a foul is called there on the Junior Jays.
We've seen the Junior Jays continue to just put pressure on this Gretna defense. With the wind in their benefit in the second half, you don't necessarily have to score here in the first because of the advantage you'll get in the second, but getting one on the board and having that extra edge on the opponent would be nice.
Now it's Stukenholtz back on the ball. It's over to Haney. Johnson there with the touch. Back over to the possession of Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz looks like he beat Johnson, but it'll get called out of bounds. Over to Brackey. Shilcutt on the left side. Big gust of wind picks up. Now it's Bieber. Bieber over to Hogan Doria. And it was knocked out. I believe that was, Brady Cerrone. Now it's Bieber on the throw-in. Bieber, now it's Zach McClay. He has a lot of room. The ball's moving fast, though, and it's out of bounds. Couldn't catch up to it.
It will be a corner kick still, though.
Maybe he did get to it. Hard to see up here in the press box. But it'll be Hogan Doria to take the corners. He's been taking corners all year here for the Junior Jays. Doria lines up. And that corner's kept low. Now it's Perkins, and Brackey will slide. It'll be out of bounds. Last touch by him, but good defensive effort there. Perkins is not a guy you want to play against when he's hot.
They've really kept Perkins at least in check. We've seen Stukenholtz get a fair bit of opportunities, but haven't really heard Perkins' name as much. Great job by this Junior Jays defense to keep him in check because, like you said, you don't want to face Perkins when he's really getting on a roll.
Speaking of Perkins, looks like he's going to take the throw in here. Perkins up and over. I believe that's Hen, who just got subbed in. Now it's Shilcutt. Shilcutt batting there with Hen. Looks like it worked. Now it's Lafferty. And another offsides call there on the Dragons. I believe Hen was just a little bit too far up. Here's Brody Brackey. Out a shield cut. Downfield to McClay. Now it's Johnson. Johnson with a big pass over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay with the cross, and it'll be deflected there by Erdkamp. Up in the air, out of bounds. Last touch by the Dragons. A little throw in here.
Just another great defensive effort. They've just snuffed out a lot of Junior J opportunities by cutting off these cross passes and a lot of corner kicks as well. This defense has really stepped up big time. It's the reason why this game is still tied.
Shilka with a throw-in. Throws it deep over, intended for Iguenma. Now it's Iguenma back on the ball. Pops it up, and it'll be Erdkamp with a touch there. Lotus battling. Jack Johnson now battling. And here's Bieber. Bieber over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay over to Chokporo, who just came in for Hogan Doria. Now a cross intended for Iguenma gets knocked away. Now here's Dowd. And it'll be a foul. Free kick here for the Dragons. Stukenholtz battling with Bieber. Over to help is Flynn McClay. Now it's Perkins. Poro got a piece of that one. Bieber goes up, and now it's Dowd back over to Johnson. Johnson with a big kick, but it's knocked away by Bothwell. Sean Stratman and Elijah Fulton there on that jump. It'll be a free kick here for the Junior Jays. Brody Brackey. Shaky pass over to Flynn McClay. Stukenholtz going over to press McClay. And it'll be recovered there by Zeleny. Zeleny kicks it up high, as you said before. It's the wind advantage there. Now it's Stratman over to Dowd. Dowd to Johnson. And a late whistle. Now it's Connor Hevikin there on the free kick. Another whistle is blown and a yellow card. Once again on Gretna. It'll be on Perkins this time.
Now we've seen both Perkins and Stukenholtz get yellow cards here in the first half. Now they're both going to kind of have to walk on eggshells a little bit in the second half. Just not make any mistakes too drastic, because you don't want to leave your team without either their two best players, especially in a game against a team as good as Prep has been.
I believe incoming for Perkins is Michael Sheaf, as Flynn McClay will jump over him. Now it's Connor Lotus. Looked like he went going for a shot there, just got under it a little too much. Now Zeleny. And it looks like I believe the whistle was blown before he kicked it. And
now they're just going to do it all over again.
Perkins will come back into the game here for Sawyer Hen.
Taking these officials a moment to maybe sort some things out.
Hey, Bill.
Moves to 5 minutes. Clock goes to the 5-minute mark.
Looks like there was a little clock miscommunication there, as Jack Johnson and Stukenholtz will battle for the ball. Pass back over to Bothwell. Now Jack Johnson with a little too hard of a touch. It'll fall into the possession of Fulton, but Jack Johnson will steal it right back. Now it's Tim Dowd. Dowd gets it over to Lotus. Lotus in the left corner, and it'll fall out of bounds. And it'll be another goal kick there for Zeleny.
Feels like a lot of opportunities for this Junior Jays team have kind of gone off to the wayside with this Gretna defense playing as well as they have. Obviously, there's still a whole half of soccer, so that can change, but the Junior Jays need to start converting on some of their opportunities because they haven't had a shortage of them, just haven't been able to convert them so far.
Speaking of opportunities, here comes Lotus, and he puts up a shot, but Zeleny on some great defensive work there. Falls right into his hands.
It's a great save.
It's a great save, a great shot as well. It was just him and the goalkeeper just wasn't able to finish on that one. It'll be Gretna. Fulton on the ball. Gets it over to Haney, but Haney will give it up to Jack Johnson and Tim Dowd. Stratman. Stratman over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay on a cross intended for Lotus, but couldn't get a touch on it. It'll be Gretna possession. Now it's Chilcutt. Perkins pressing Brody Brackey on this one. Brody Brackey will go right past him, and he stumbles. Stukenholtz on it. Through ball over to Perkins. Battling with Bieber. Bieber being able to get it away. Perkins all the way over to a wide open Michael Sheaf, who will be unable to take a shot and is cleared by Bieber. Great defensive effort here for the Junior Jays. Tokporo now with it. He will. Whistle is blown.
Some great defense from both Brody Brackey and Drayton Bieber. It was Brackey to cut off the initial attempt, and then Bieber doing a great job just clearing that one out.
And be a free kick here for Gretna. It's taken, and Bieber to clear it once again. He'll fall in possession of Tokporo, who'll take a couple touches. He's going to beat his man, but unable to get it through. Blocked there by Bothwell. Here comes Tokporo. Tokporo over to Jack Johnson. Johnson to Gwenma, who's going to get nailed, and it'll be a whistle blown. Gretna possession, or yeah, fall in possession of Gretna.
Get the sense that some of the Junior Jays fans in attendance may not have been the happiest with that call, but it's been a fairly physical game so far. We've seen a pair of Gretna players get yellow cards, quite a bit of fouling early on. That's bound to be expected in a game against two teams that are as successful as they are, and in a rivalry that's gotten this intense.
I believe that was on defense there. Use of the shoulder. You did not push off. So it'll be no call there. And now it's Stratman over to Lotus. Lotus puts a touch over to Iguenma. Iguenma to Lotus. Racing on the left side. Yet another opportunity. Lotus was there with Erdkamp. Tries to get over to Stratman. But now it will be Jack Johnson. Johnson over to Tokporo. Tokporo into Iguenma. Iguenma tries to put up a shot, misses it right. Heavily guarded there by both Bothwell, and I believe that's number 21, Brady Cerrone on that as well. Cerrone.
Some great defense from Gretna. Yet again, the Junior Jays putting a lot of pressure on them, but they have not broken defensively so far. Now they've just got to hold on for these next 30 seconds, and then maybe in the second half they'll get an opportunity to adjust.
Under 30 seconds left in this half. Both teams racing to maybe get the first goal. So we approach 10 seconds here.
9, 8, 7,
Jack Johnson over to Sean Stratman.
5, 4,
Stratman
3,
over,
2,
and
1.
that is how we will end 0-0. So many great attempts here for the Creighton Prep offense. Gretna having several attempts there in the beginning portion of the first half. And like I said, we will end 0-0. Just a lot of missed opportunities there for the Junior Jays. Colton?
Yes, just great first half between two great teams, both of them putting quite a bit of pressure on the goal. We saw the wind affect the game quite a bit, and with the Junior Jays getting the wind at their backs in the second half, how does that impact their offensive strategy? Do they go for more long opportunities? Does that get them more opportunities near the net? Will be a big second half. A lot of questions to be answered, and big game here between two of the top three teams in the state of Nebraska.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on CPSN. to Leahy Stadium. Underway is the second half of play with the Creighton Prep Junior Jays and the Gretna Dragons. Knotted up at 0-0. What do you have to say, Colton?
Yeah, you look at this matchup once again. Combined 147 and 31 record over these last 5 years for these two teams. 6 times meeting between these two prep. 3-2 in the matchup. Looking to make it 4-2 today. They've put a lot of pressure on Gretna in the first half. Had 8 shots on goal, none of them going in. And in the second half, they're going to need to take advantage of their opportunities, just get the ball in the net. And with the wind at their backs, it's going to be a little bit easier for them. But this Gretna team has a very good defense, so it's going to be definitely a difficult challenge for them.
And with the Junior Jays putting up as many shots as they did with the wind at their face, it's going to be really exciting to see how they do and how they match up with the wind at their backs here in the second half. Tim Dowd looks like it'll be kick it away. Now it's Stratman fighting with and it'll be out of bounds. Last touch by the Junior Jays. Inbound here by Evan Lafferty. Sean Stratman puts up a touch, but it'll roll out of bounds. Lafferty to take another throw in. Lafferty into Sheaf. And out of bounds. This time last touch by the Dragons. Here's Brody Brackey now. Brackey. Now it's in. That was Fulton on the touch there. Sibernson falls on it, but very, very close there. If he would have fumbled it and dropped it, I believe that would have been an easy goal there for Michael Sheaf.
I believe they would have called that a foul either way, though.
Now it's ball carried due to the wind, and Jack Johnson battling there with, that was Brody Haney, and now it's Stukenholtz. Out of bounds, last touched by the Dragons. Brody Backey to inbound. Or not inbound. Take the goal kick. Brackey gets it over to Iguema. Iguema with the one touch intended there for Tokporo. And it'll roll out of bounds. Bothwell there to make sure Tokporo didn't get to it. That was Sheaf on the touch. Now it's Perkins over to Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz with a shot. Missed it left. Sibernson was out of the box. It was a wide open net, and he just missed it left. Wow.
It was maybe the best chance that either team has had all game. Stukenholtz had a breakaway right there and just pushed it a little bit too far left on Sibernson. Bit of a tough break for Gretna, but they've done a really good job controlling the ball in the second half. Getting a lot of opportunities near the Junior J net.
Great shot, just wasn't able to keep it inside. And now a whistle is blown and it'll fall into possession of the Dragons. That was Connor Hevikin on the free kick there. Now it's Jack Johnson. Intended for Shilcutt, but just not enough power on it. And now it's Flynn McClay racing down the left side there with, I'm not sure who that was. I believe that was Sheaf again. Play. Now it's Perkins with it. Bombarded by 3. Creighton Prep players. Now it's Iguenma. Iguenma on the right side. Looks like trying to get a through ball there for Lotus, and he gets it. Lotus now makes up for all the missed opportunities and scores the first goal of this game.
What a play by Connor Lotus. He just swooped in right there, took the ball from the defender as the defender thought it was going to be an easy play for him, and just kind of caught this Gretna defense sleeping, and he gets the first goal of this game.
What an assist there by Jordan Iguenma too. Great pass, beautiful pass, put it right in his feet, in stride, and Lotus was able to get into the box and finish. What a play by the Junior Jays. Jordan Iguenma has been making those passes all year. He had a beautiful pass, I believe, against Papillion La Vista South. And now Gretna will rush to get another goal. Perkins down the middle, and Perkins will be on the ground.
For Gretna, we saw it in the state title game. They trailed against the Junior Jays and spent basically the entire second half trying to just play catch-up against them, and now they're going to have to do that yet again with Creighton Prep getting the first goal of this game early in the second.
And now it's Connor Hevikin to take the free kick. He's going to put it up, but too much on it. It'll be a goal kick here for the Junior Jays.
And just hooked that one a little bit too far to the right. Couldn't get it back towards the net, and just a bit of a tough break for Gretna there as they had a really good opportunity.
Guem on the touch there. Took Poro went to go get it, but Bothwell was able to knock it away. Now it's Tim Dowd with the ball. Tim Dowd also scored a few games ago. Has been very active here for the Creighton Prep offense. And Lotus falls to the ground, no call. I believe they're going to say all ball there. And an offsides call once again on the Gretna Dragons.
Bit of a brief intermission here. I think a pair of Gretna players just needed to tie their shoes.
Brody Brackey will start us off once again. Now it's Jack Johnson. Over to Flynn McClay. And McClay, pass intended for Iguenma. It's broken up there by Fulton, but remains in the possession of Creighton Prep. And Lotus will kick it off of, I believe that might have been Erdkamp. Now it's Iguenma on Erdkamp. Iguenma stays with it. Iguenma over to Lotus on the left again. Lotus went for the cross, but it's blocked by Hevikin.
It's like a corner kick for the Junior Jays, already getting another opportunity not long after they got their first goal of the game just a few minutes ago.
Now here, I believe that's Sean Stratman to take the corner. Puts it up deep corner. It was Dowd with it. Iguenma looking for a touch, and it's knocked out by Fulton. Jack Johnson kicks it way up, and it's cleared once again, that time by Jace Erdkamp. Stays in possession of the Junior Jays. Now it's Tokporo with the ball. Tokporo gets past the defender, but it's knocked away by the other. Now it's Flynn McClay working on, that was Brady Cerrone. And it'll be out of bounds, last touch by the Dragons. It'll be Bieber to throw it in on this right side. Over to Iguenma. Iguenma with a cross. Too much there for Lotus. And Sean Stratman will be unable to catch up with it. It'll be Dragons ball. I believe it'll be Junior J ball, excuse me. Not too sure. And it'll be Zeleny to jump on it. Now it's Bieber. Over to Stratman. Stratman tried to get it to Tokporo, but it's knocked away. Now it's Dowd on the ball. Dowd surveys his options, gets it over to Flynn McClay on the right side. Flynn McClay with a cross over to Tokporo. Now it's Lotus and back to Stratman. Stratman with a cross of his own, and it's in the box. Can't find it, and Zellini will fall in possession.
Stepped out of bounds, though.
Yeah. It'll be a corner kick, I believe, there for Junior Jays. Wow.
If Creighton Prep ends up getting this corner kick in, that's one you have to look back at for Gretna as potentially a very costly mistake in this game.
Now here's Stratman. Stratman in. And the ball is fumbled around there by Zellini. And he will hold on to it. He's going to kick it into the wind. Intended there for Stukenholtz. Now it's Dowd. Over to Lotus. Lotus battling with two Gretna defenders, and whistle is blown. It'll be a free kick there for Junior Jays.
Now with this ball close to the net, you might just go straight up for a kick from the net from here.
Now it's looks like it's either going to be Jack Johnson, maybe Stratman, or Brody Brackey to take this free kick.
Both kind of hanging around it. Now it looks like it's...
Ref was saying something there to the players. That'll be Jack Johnson. And he was looking like he's going to go for the net there, but just got a little bit too much under it.
That was a good opportunity for the Junior Jays, but just a lot of them so far in this game that have gone unanswered.
Now it's Brackey. Looking like he tried to get over to Iguenma, but it's knocked out by Connor Evikin. Evan Lafferty on that last touch there. Now it's Perkins. Perkins working on Stratman and Johnson. Gets it over to Stukenholtz. And Stukenholtz and Jack Johnson fighting for the ball, and the whistle is blown. It'll be in the possession arrow of the Junior Jays.
And Stukenholtz already with a yellow card. He's going to have to be careful defensively. Can't really get too aggressive on that end of the ball.
And a deep pass over to Tokporo. Tokporo and Cerrone were working on the ball there, and now it'll be out of bounds. Last touch by Tokporo. Now it's Zellini. Sheaf with a great touch there, and an offsides call yet again on the Dragons. I believe Stukenholtz just got a little bit ahead of himself there. Don't blame him. Now he's Shilcutt on the left side. Shilcutt over to Iguenma with a touch, and it'll roll out of bounds. And another whistle is blown. I believe Shilcutt's talking to the ref, asking about he's tugging on his jersey, but it'll fall into the possession of the Dragons.
Gretna, at this point, you kind of have to display some sense of urgency. can't let too much time elapse and the Junior Jays still be holding this lead, because it's going to be hard to get into their territory late in this game, especially with how good this offense has been for the Junior Jays.
Yellow card there on the opposing head coach. That's Tyler Ortlieb. This ref finishes talking there with Coach Ortlieb. And a free kick here for the Dragons. One touch. That was Stukenholtz there. And it's cleared out by the Junior Jays. Fall into possession of Junior Jays. These Gretna players are not happy about that decision there by the referees. Now it's Jack Johnson on the touch there with Lotus. It's cleared out by Bothwell. Now it's Bieber on the right side. And he went to slide to keep it in bounds, but unfortunately can't. And now it's Fulton. And Hevikin there with the ball. Defended heavily by Gwenma. Now it's Bieber over to Johnson. Johnson chips it up, but a little bit too much there intended for Tokporo.
Looks like they're going to get a foul on the Junior Jays.
Now it'll be inbound. Lotus misses a touch. Erdkamp will pass it. It's crossed over, and a missed opportunity there for Perkins again.
That looked like Gretna had one of their best chances of the game so far there, but Perkins just couldn't get a hold of it. Big missed opportunity for the Dragons. We've seen that a pair of times with the shot by Stukenholtz earlier in the game, where he just hit it a little bit too far to the left against Sibernson. You see that again there.
It's passed up the left side. I believe that's Bothwell on the pass there. Now another pass intended for Tokporo. It'll be out of bounds. Last touch by Tokporo. Now it's Bothwell to throw it in again. Bieber on the touch. Now it's Dowd and then Tokporo. Tokporo nearly gets past two Gretna defenders. Now it's Iguenma battling with Bothwell, and the whistle is blown. A high kick called on Iguenma.
A big gust of wind really picking up there. The gusts around 35 miles an hour right now.
Now it's Connor Hevikin on the free kick, and it'll be Bieber eventually to regain possession. And it'll be Brody Brackey again to kick it away from the goal. Deep ball over to Dowd, but it's Haney who can get a touch on it first. And it'll be another whistle is blown. It'll be, looks like it's Gretna possession. Jack Johnson having a little conversation there with the ref. There's Hevikin on the free kick. Hevikin again trying to get it in. And Perkins and Simerton race to the ball, but Simerton is able to fall on top of it before Perkins can score.
Great job by Simerton. We've seen him make some really great saves so far today, and just does a good job covering that ball up there and preventing a Gretna opportunity.
Now it's speaking of opportunities, here comes Tokporo on the right side. Tokporo nearly gets past two, but it's knocked away. Now here's Tim Dowd. Tim Dowd with a crossover to Iguenma. Iguenma with a touch. Back to Jack Johnson, who puts up a shot just a little high. Wow. That could have easily been a goal. Another missed opportunity there for the Junior Jays.
Looked like it went in between the goalposts of the football and the soccer nets.
Out of bounds, last touch by the Dragons. It'll be Bieber to throw it in. Bieber with a deep ball over to Iguenma, and then whistle is blown off sides. Because I believe Hevikin fell over and Iguenma was able to run right past him.
It's like a yellow card against Iguenma there.
And in for Iguenma will come, I believe, Noah Hogandoria. Or no, excuse me, that's Zach McClay coming in. I apologize. Haven't seen much of Zach McClay this game. Getting a warm welcome from the Creighton Prep fans. Big gust of wind here. So free kick is taken, kept on the ground, probably a smart decision. And now it's Zach McClay after just coming in with a breakaway. It's just him and the goalie. Gets caught up in a foul.
It's going to be a penalty kick, I believe.
It'll be a penalty as he was in the box, and a yellow card.
It's going to be against Bothwell.
Cameron Bothwell on the yellow card and the foul there. He's explaining his case to the official. Official just walks away after just minutes of being in the game. Zach McClay nearly scores, gets hawked down by Cameron Bothwell. And it looks like it will be a penalty kick, and Sean Stratman will be taking this penalty kick to get the Junior Jays up 2. Iguenma will check back into the game for Zach McClay.
Stratman got a penalty kick goal for the Junior Jays earlier in the season. Has a chance for his second here.
It looks like, as we said, Sean Stratman will take the penalty kick. Sean Stratman has been the guy the Junior Jays call on to take these penalty kicks. He had one against Millard West. It'd be the first goal of the game, and he looks like he's going to try to get one here for the second goal of the game. And he will. Sean Stratman gets the Junior Jays up 2-0 with just about 20 minutes left in the game. Wow.
A shot by Stratman there on the penalty kick. Getting the Junior Jays their second goal of the game, and that's going to be some massive insurance for them against a Gretna team that can definitely score fast. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for them late in this game, but getting that extra goal is massive for the Junior Jays.
What a sequence there for the Junior Jays. Gwenma goes out with a yellow card. Zach McClay comes in, gets a steal, breakaways, fouled in the box, and immediately goes back off. And a penalty kick goal by Sean Stratman. And Jace Erdkamp on the, I believe, missed the touch there. It'll be Creighton Prep throwing deep in Gretna territory. Stratman over to Lotus. Lotus already with a goal. Tried to get it across, but doesn't. He recovered by Zeleny. Zeleny with a goal kick into the wind. And a good touch there by Sheaf. Now it's Flynn McClay. Splits two defenders. And he's on the ground now. And looks like it'll be possession of the Junior Jays.
Free kick here fairly close to the net, so maybe an opportunity.
Be a free kick here for the Junior Jays. Looks like Bracky will take it. He'll get it across. A touch by Gwenma, a touch by Tokporo, and one by Tim Dowd as well, but not before Stukenholtz can clear it away.
Great job by Gretna just getting that ball out.
Absolutely.
May have gone a little bit too fast there.
Yeah, our refs are going to call that one back.
Looks like Jack Johnson will check out of the game.
In comes.
Oh, looks like he got a yellow, and I believe that's Matthew Daly in for him.
Free kick there by the Dragons. Goes up. Lotus now with a touch. Falls right into the footing of Stukenholtz. Now it's full. That's not your water. I believe another whistle is blown and a foul is called. It'll be a free kick once again there for Junior Jays. Brody Bracky gets it over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay over to Gwenma, who tried to get it to Tokporo, but a little miscommunication there, and it'll be out of bounds. Last touch by the Junior Jays. Another free kick there for Zeleny. Goal kick may have been disrupted there by the wind, and Bieber shoots the ball straight up in the air. Now it's Bracky. Perkins was rushing him. Oh, Bracky is forced to kick it out of bounds. Now it's Gretna on the attack. Pass it back over to Jace Erdkamp. Erdkamp back with it. It's intercepted there by Iguenma. Iguenma gets it over to Dowd. Dowd with the deep ball. I believe that's intended for Lotus, but a little miscommunication there for Gretna. It'll be Bothwell. Now it's Sean Stratman who tried to get it deep, but it's recovered there by Zeleny. Now Stratman with it once again. Stratman over to Lotus. Lotus down to Iguenma. Iguenma makes one miss. Iguenma with some flashy moves. Centers it there, but Lotus a little too far up. And now it's deep ball intended for Perkins. Shell cut now over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay intended for Dowd. Bieber with a great tackle there. Bieber going for another one. And it'll be cleared away by the Dragons.
Great job by Gretna just getting that ball out.
Stratman went for a pass, got chopped there in the ankle, falls over. He's back up pretty quick.
Looked concerning at first, but good to see he's all right.
I believe got a little banged up there on the contest with Sheaf. Brackey over to Lotus across the field. And now it's Gretna. Now it's Stukenholtz. Stukenholtz over to Perkins. But Perkins is on the ground looking for a foul, doesn't get it. That was Fulton on the touch there. Now it's Jack Johnson who falls over. And another yellow on Stukenholtz. And that will be a red card for Stukenholtz. He's going to have to sit out the rest of this game. Wow.
It's just a massive loss for the Dragons.
Absolutely, especially when you're down 2 with such little time left in the game.
I mean, Stukenholtz is probably either Gretna's best or second best player. Scored 12 goals in just 8 games this year heading into this one. That's just a loss you can't afford to have for the Dragons late in this one.
It's an unfortunate turn of events, so he's going to have to sit out for the next game for the Gretna Dragons, as Perkins talking to the official there as well. It'll be a free kick here for the Junior Jays, taken by Brody Brackey. It's like a couple players are talking to the official there. That'll be a Junior Jays kicking it deep over to Hogan Doria, and it will fall into the hands of Zeleny, excuse me.
Now Gretna having to play a man down as well.
Absolutely. It's going to be a huge challenge if they want to get back into this game. Dowd over to Tokporo. Tokporo maybe took one too many touches there looking for the cross, and a bad touch by Bothwell. Now it's Phil McClay back to Bieber. Bieber with a pass over to Stratman, and Stratman to Iguenma. Iguenma has proven himself a efficient assist giver, and he nearly scores off the corner there. But it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Zelany's goal kick.
It was a good effort there from the Junior Jays. Iguenma had a potential opportunity, but Creighton Prep already with this 2-goal advantage. They just need to hold on to this ball and not allow Gretna to get any opportunities late.
Perkins with a through ball there for Evan Lafferty. Back in looking for Sheaf. Doesn't get it. Now it's Iguenma. Iguenma back to Dowd. Dowd dribbling upfield. Dowd over to Johnson. Now it's Perkins. And Brody Bracky's able to get it out of his possession. Now it's over to Shilcutt. Shilcutt, big pass over to Tokporo, but unfortunately unable to gain possession, as it will be a free kick there for the Dragons. There's Erdkamp. Erdkamp and Fulton over there. Iguenma up to Hogan Doria. Now Iguenma passes it back. Perkins on the run, as well as Brody Brackey. Brody Brackey gets it over. I believe that was intended for Shilcutt. Now it's Sheaf. It'll be Phil McClay over to Tokporo up next. Now it's Tokporo racing down the field. Tokporo tempted through ball over to Iguenma, just intercepted there by Erdkamp. And here comes Dowd now. Dowd going down the left and is knocked away there by number 14, Brody Haney. Sheaf tried to get it through. Doesn't. Haney tries to get it through, and maybe just a little bit too much. Perkins able to catch up to it. Perkins working on Brody Brackey. Puts up a shot, no good.
That was another good opportunity for the Dragons, but just a little bit too much on it there from Perkins. For Gretna, time running out. You've about 11 minutes to go, and just need to start converting on these opportunities offensively. Need to get at least one goal. Can't get both of them at the same time.
Now here's Jack Johnson. Over to Dowd. Dowd over to Hogan Doria. Guarded by Bothwell, who's had himself a very good game here today. Bothwell blocks both attempted crosses by Hogan Doria. And it'll be another corner kick here for the Junior Jays. This one also taken by Hogan Doria. Throwing over to Tokporo, and another cross. It'll land out of bounds, and Zeleny will go for the goal kick here.
Junior Jays are doing a good job just controlling the offensive here in the second half. They're not allowing this Gretna team to get too comfortable and getting opportunities late. They're trying to get some more insurance goals to further cement this lead, and he's doing a good job keeping pressure on despite having the lead right now.
Let's see Gwenma and Stratman on the ball there. It'll be out of bounds, last touch by the Gretna Dragons.
Something of note, the Junior Jays did give up 2 goals late in that game to Omaha South. Didn't end up coming back to cost them the game, as they were up by 3 beforehand, but they have to be careful that they don't allow something like that to happen again.
Here come the Junior Jays again. Tim Dowd with some fancy footwork. Dowd dodges a tackle. He's going to get it over to Iguenma. Iguenma now on the left side. Iguenma working on Erdkamp there. Iguenma nearly gets it through before it's cleared into the footing of Dowd. Dowd gets it over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay makes one miss. Bieber with a cross attempted for Tokporo. But now it's Dowd. Back to Tokporo. Here comes Shilcutt now. Now it's Tokporo with it. Tokporo over to Shilcutt. Now it's Dowd who's going to put up a shot, and it'll be off left.
Another good opportunity, just a little bit too far to the left.
Couple missed shot opportunities there for the Junior Jays. Maybe a little hesitance to shoot.
Tokporo coming out of the game. I believe Iguenma coming back in.
There's Lotus on that. Now it's Brody Brackey over to Johnson. Johnson to Dowd. Dowd now over to Iguenma. Can he catch up to it? He can. Iguenma with the cross, and it'll be Zelny to fall on top of it.
Even if you're not getting goals here, just getting to the Gretna net and getting shots on the goal is going to be important late in this game because it prevents Gretna from having those opportunities on the other side of the field.
Now it's Phil McClay working on Elijah Fulton, and it'll be a free kick here for the Dragons. Fulton looking around. And it'll be taken here by Bothwell. Bothwell gets it to Hen. And it'll be Iguenma and Johnson. Jack Johnson with a through ball over to Hogan Doria before it is cleared out by Connor Hevikin. Great defensive effort there by the Gretna Dragons. Now it's Jack Johnson. Gets it to Stratman before it's knocked away again by Fulton. Fulton with it still. Fulton back to Erdkamp. I believe that was Hevikin. Now it's Gretna down the left side. That was Brody Cerrone there on the effort.
Now for Gretna, with time running out, you need a goal within these next couple of minutes, or else this lead is going to feel more and more insurmountable.
As Perkins is knocked over. Close to the box. Got to be careful there if you're the Junior Jays. It'll be a corner, or a free kick, excuse me, for the Gretna Dragons. Taking it is Perkins. It'll hit crossbar. What a shot there by Perkins off the free kick. Wow. Now it's Fulton with it again. Fulton gets it to his right. It'll be cleared out there by Brackey. And the 50-50 won there by Jace Erdkamp. There's Lafferty on it there. Brady Cerrone. Oh, Flynn McClay misses the touch off the pass by Hogan Doria. Hogan Doria gets knocked down there by Bothwell.
For the Junior Jays, playing some good keep away these last couple minutes of this game is going to be huge for him. Can't allow Gretna to get any sort of opportunities offensively.
And that will be Iguenma's second yellow card. So that'll be a red card for him as well. So he will be unable to play in the next game for the Junior Jays. And just like that, we're even at 10 players per team.
And that's
a huge loss there for the Junior Jays.
we've seen both of these teams with some major losses offensively. Stukenholtz is the second leading scorer for Gretna. Iguenma, when you account for both his goals and assists, is leading scorer for the Junior Jays this season as well. Just some really costly losses there, and both of those teams being without some of their top guys for the upcoming game. This does give Gretna some better opportunities late in this one.
Gretna now on the free kick. That looks like Perkins taking it once again. Excuse me, that was Hevikin on that. He'll be out of bounds. Creighton prep possession. The wind is blowing once again. Brackey back to Severinson, who's going to boot it away.
Junior Jays just doing a good job controlling this ball.
No miscommunication there by Dowd and Flynn McClay. There's Dowd over to Hogan Doria. Makes Hevikin miss. Over to Flynn McClay. Flynn McClay dribbling around. And it'll be intended there by Lotus. Lotus doesn't go for it. It's Erdkamp down to Lafferty. Erdkamp now. Attempted over for Perkins. It'll be offsides once again for Gretna East. Just over 3 minutes left in this game. As Brody Brackey will kick it away over to Bieber, excuse me. Now it's Hogan Doria racing for it. Hogan Doria gets it over to Lotus. Lotus can't get past Hen, but can't get past Haney there. It's kicked away. It's Bieber over to Stratman. Stratman down to Dowd. Now it's Bieber. Bieber kicks it across the field over to Lotus. Now it's Jack Johnson with it. He's going to get it over to Stratman. He's going to get it over to Dowd. Dowd will pass on it, and it's Bieber with it. Bieber down intended for Hogan Doria. Hogan Doria now gets past two. Almost gets past a third and is knocked down. It'll be just in front of the box. It'll be a free kick, not a penalty. A free kick just outside the box. Wow.
Now with just about 2 minutes left, even if you don't score for the Junior Jays, you have to feel like this one's close to being wrapped up. They can just hold on to this one for a little bit longer. That basically eliminates any chance that Gretna has for getting down the field and scoring a goal. And at this point, scoring two within the final minute and a half against this Junior Jays defense.
Hogan Doria goes for the goal. Great save there by Zellini.
Still going to be prep ball, though.
Great save there by Zellini. So rushing for the kick here, and it'll be Jack Johnson wasting time there in the corner, and it'll be out of bounds. Gretna East. Well, I believe they're saying it's Junior J ball. Junior J's on the throw in here.
It's big for him to keep it there.
As we hit the 1 minute mark, and it's intercepted there by the Dragons, and a foul's called on the Junior Jays. Free kick now. Now it's Perkins.
And Gretna's
Perkins rushing up the field. Perkins splits some defenders. Now it's Shilcutt. I believe he went for the clear. Hogan Dory on the touch. Now it's Bieber. Bieber will just clear it away. And it'll be out of bounds.
Looks like this clock is just going to run out for the most part.
As we approach the 20-second mark. Gretna just kind of dribbling it around. There's
9,
Fulton.
8, 7, 6.
Bieber will clear it away.
4,
And
3.
that is where we will leave it. Creighton Prep beats the number 2 Creighton Prep beats number 3 Gretna 2-0 at Leahy Stadium. A great offensive effort there by the Junior Jays, shutting out Stukenholtz as well as Perkins. Neither of them scoring, both of them averaging just over 1 goal per game. Clean slate for Sibrinson as well. Just great effort all around there for the Junior Jays.
And this was the best game that the Junior Jays have played perhaps all season. They were constantly putting pressure on the Dragons' net, doing a good job defending their own net, and they get a massive win that fully solidifies them as the number 2 team in the state. Of course, that tough loss to Lincoln Southwest early in the year, but they're going to get another chance at them almost certainly. And now just a massive win for the Junior Jays to really get their season on track.
As that is how we leave it. I'm Chris Hillebrand alongside Colton Alder, Mike Knockenauer, director, as well as Hank McGill on the camera. We will see you next time here on CPSN.